On this episode of Mosaic with TJ,
Say when it came to dating, I never took them very seriously, really. Now, that was due to the lack of my father being involved, really, because
Mm.
he was involved, but really just financially. So, like, emotionally, there was nothing there, which explains why I was detached in relationships because how do I value them when the only one I know doesn't value me?
Mm.
Not really. Like he may say he loves me and all of that, but it's like there's like when I watch my husband with my daughter, I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna know a love that I never knew.
She's amazing.
she is.
Oh,
She's something amazing. Danny, you are something amazing.
oh, thank you.
You
I'm
really,
told.
really are. Like I said, you're in this small time. You've inspired me. I
So,
appreciate you.
Well, thank
okay.
you.
So I want to, Danielle, you are married. And so I want to bring my baby on because, again, she's seen the good, bad, and all in between of her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to bring you on, Courtney, because you are a mother to
I
a
am.
daughter.
Yes.
And, I knew what I thought I was doing and thought I was showing my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But what she saw was something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted her to share that with people because, again, and kind of like before your mom married your stepdad, she was taking care of her babies and that's all, that's what she was
Right.
doing, making a way,
Right.
but not knowing the messages unconsciously. So with that, I want to switch really, real quick,
Mm-hmm.
talking about marriage. Now, Danielle, you've been married coming up on 3 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and you've seen me in different relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the viewers from
Okay.
a daughter of a single mother, what did you see that I did well and not so well?
Come on now. This is a
Well,
conversation.
I can take it.
Come
okay.
on.
The
I can
viewers,
take
I will
it.
say what I've always appreciated, like you said, is your work ethic. I've never seen anyone work nearly as hard. And that's what's helped me to stay focused, even like the midst of adversity. What I will say when it came to dating, I never took them very seriously, really. Now, that was due to the lack of my father being involved, really, because he was involved, but really just financially. So, like, emotionally, there was nothing there, which explains why I was detached in relationships because how do I value them when the only one I know doesn't value me? Not really. Like he may say he loves me and all of that, but it's like there's like when I watch my husband with my daughter, I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna know a love that I never knew. Like a true deep affection from a father. Never knew it. Still don't. So it's one of those things where when she would date, I always disassociated them from me. I'm like, that's your man. That's not like my stepdad. Like, that's your man, not mine. Because that's just what I was used to. So when they would come around, you couldn't tell me nothing. You ain't my daddy. Like,
So, how do you feel right now with her husband?
oh, he's great. I love Lawrence.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Again, still forget that he's technically my stepfather. Still
Yeah. It's your stepdad.
it just doesn't register.
Do you call him your stepdad?
No.
You call him by his name.
It's Tom Lawrence.
Yeah.
But will my daughter know him as grandpa or papa? What? Yes,
Papa.
absolutely. Like
Papa.
that's her grandfather.
Mm.
So it's one of those things that when it came to when she was dating, it's not that she set a bad example, but she just showed how much she dominates, really. Because it wasn't really, at least from what I remember, he didn't really lead. He kind of just followed her lead. Most of the people she dated. because like, you know, my mom's very much like a boss energy. So like you got to be real confident with who you are to date her, because her whole demeanor will make you second guess your whole masculinity. Like, for real, because she about that action. She always has been. Now, Lawrence, I can tell he was the right one because I was like, wow, man.
About what now?
I said I could tell Lawrence was the right one because he made you shut up.
Shut the fuck up. What you said, because your husband did it.
Yeah, he ain't doing
Maybe it's a thing when a man can tell you to shut the fuck up and you shut the fuck up. That might be the one for you.
And it's interesting because the way that he does it.
It's all about, my mom said, it's all about how, because I think a lot of men, unfortunately, just because they haven't been taught correctly, because again, just like how Black women aren't being taught how to be wives, Black women are not taught how to be husbands. There's a two for dysfunctional on both parts. We can deal with that in another episode. But when it comes to that, my husband came from a two-parent household, a very healthy relationship, two-parent household, parents still married, sweetest people you'll ever meet. You know, grew up in the church, like foundationally sound. Like in every way. So it's not surprising that he can conduct himself this way. And then also his last relationship taught him a lot about communication because she was something. She made me look like the angel Gabriel coming down from heaven in comparison. So because he had that skill set with her, when I had my little crazy moments, he's like, oh, it's nothing. I can navigate this. This is fine. So it's a two for on both sides. So it's like with my mom, it's not that she set a bad example. It's really not her fault that the men were weak. It's just, that's just who they were. They were weak. And if they felt insecure, they just left. So that's what I always got into. And I'm like, oh, they just weren't the one.
And I'll say this, it can't be because of your mom, because your mom raised you and look at what you are now. TJ did a hell of a job.
Indeed. And really, God
did a hell of a job.
A lot of the issue of transformation came when I got into church.
Yeah.
A lot of it because, you know, my mom didn't like me being in church at the time, but it was probably the best thing for me because the pastor, I'm still going to the same church, the pastor is a true ninja. He don't play no BS with no.
What church is it?
It's where is it at? We're in Garland, Texas, Impact City Church, Dallas. I appreciate that man because he helped me learn.
How far are you from Arlington?
Ooh, that's the other side of Dallas.
Oh, right? Okay.
Yeah, Arlington over here. And
okay.
But I was serving, you know, really because we were all young. I was in college. My alpha female or alpha male came out a lot, and he ain't played that. He was like, you know, no, we don't do that here. And so it forced me to, one, deal with conflict resolution. I was someone who always ran away from conflict. That's how I was in relationships. So if you got on my nerves too much, I just jumped you because I knew I was fine and I could get to another one. But that didn't help me learn long suffering because marriage is long suffering. You don't just quit because y'all had an argument. Or you don't just give up on the nigga because he pissed you off and called you, called you on the BS and you got offended by it. That's not what it is. You have to deal with the conflict. And so being in church helped me learn how to deal with conflict.
Yeah.
It helped me learn how to remember that people are human and fail just like everybody else. So those skills and those, all those characteristics that were being cultivated there is what helped me deal with Kevon. Because before that, if he would irritate me, I just would have dumped him.
I mean, I've been that, and you heard and that's another reason I wanted my daughter on here because she could tell you I have been, and it's not that I intended to be controlling. It's not that I intended to be a bulldog, but I'm the oldest, born to a single mother.
Yeah.
Then I was a single mother myself. Then I was in the military. I have a small family, so I always felt like it was my responsibility to take care of everything when it was never my responsibility to take care of everything. But I still do it. And then but it's overbearing.
It's hard.
It's over. And so what I learned, and even though my daughter said the men were weak, I don't think it's just that the men were weak. I think sometimes they say, I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't have to deal with it because, you know, it's not that they're weak, but like, you know, I don't need you to be my mother. I need you to be my woman. But until I got that revelation, and I'm thinking I'm nurturing, I'm thinking I'm supporting, but I'm being
You're
a
nagging.
mother to I'm nagging.
You nagging.
And I
don't
tell
about
you,
no man won't no nag.
Ain't nobody got time for that.